December 7, 1941. The calm Hawaiian morning is shattered. Hundreds of Japanese planes roar across the sky, Zeros diving, bombers screaming toward the harbor. Battleships erupt in flames. Airfields ignite. Smoke and fire blur the horizon. It is one of the darkest days in U.S. military history. But let's change one thing. Hidden under camouflage netting on a quiet tarmac, something hums with power, something impossible for 1941. A modern directed energy weapon, a high-powered laser system capable of destroying aircraft, missiles, and even ships faster than any human reflex. The questions are simple, but terrifying. What happens when one of the deadliest modern weapons in existence is unleashed during history's most infamous surprise attack? Can it stop waves of Japanese aircraft, or is it just a single system against hundreds of planes, hundreds of bombs, and thousands of lives? Here's what has just appeared in 1941. A ground-mounted mobile laser cannon capable of firing multiple megawatts of energy per shot. Speed of light strikes. No bullets, no explosives, just concentrated energy vaporizing targets instantly. Range, tens of kilometers, fast enough to destroy aircraft before pilots even know they are being targeted. Accuracy, near perfect. Reload, instant, powered by modern generators. It's precise, deadly, unstoppable by the technology of the time. Japanese pilots? Unaware. Anti-aircraft gunners? Completely powerless. This is modern warfare in 1941, and it changes everything. The first wave approaches. 183 Japanese aircraft slicing low over the water. Zeros, Nakajima torpedo bombers, D-3A dive bombers, engines screaming. Formation flying at its finest, speed and coordination their only advantage. The laser hums to life. Targeting sensors lock on automatically. The first beams strike a bomber in mid-air. In an instant, the plane disintegrates. Metal vaporized, engines shredded, no pilot reaction possible. Shock spreads through the formation. Fighters spin in confusion. Bombers break ranks. Panic ignites. By the time the Japanese realize something is wrong, a dozen aircraft are already gone, and they haven't even seen the source. The second wave. 170 planes approach the harbor along the same deadly path. Alarms sound. Anti-aircraft guns fire into the sky, blind hope against a weapon they cannot comprehend. The laser tracks multiple targets simultaneously. Zeros dive at the bombers, vaporized before they can fire. Torpedo bombers aim for battleships, obliterated mid-flight. Explosions flicker across the ocean, but not from bombs, from air itself igniting under the laser's energy. Still, limitations exist. The laser needs power. Overheating can shut it down temporarily. It must prioritize targets, hundreds of planes in the air, dozens of bombs falling toward ships and airfields. Every second counts. Japanese pilots are thrown into chaos. Formations collapse. Plans unravel. Commanders on the carriers struggle to regroup. Back on the ground, U.S. sailors and soldiers watch in disbelief. A mysterious force is striking the enemy with precision beyond imagination. Morale surges. Fear turns into hope. Yet the weapon is not invincible. Fuel cells power the laser, coolant systems keep it operational, and if it overheats or sustains damage, it must shut down. In 1941, no backup exists, no repair crews, no resupply. One system, one chance. Even so, destruction is massive. Bombers never reach their targets. Fighters are vaporized mid-dive. Ships that would have burned now sit mostly intact, damaged only slightly by the few planes that survive. Casualties are reduced dramatically. Entire airfields are spared. Hundreds of lives saved. But history isn't erased. The attack still occurs, but its scale is diminished. The U.S. losses are smaller. The shock is monumental. For the Japanese, the impossible has appeared in the skies, a weapon beyond comprehension, unseen, untouchable. For the Americans, morale is restored. Fear turns into fighting determination. Now imagine the weapon in action. Beams slice through the sky, vaporizing planes mid-dive. Explosions erupt in seconds, engines turning to molten slag. Bombs that would have struck battleships are intercepted mid-air. Sailors and soldiers look up in awe, witnessing impossible technology, a miracle weapon of the future in their midst. Every wave of attackers is met with precise destruction. Chaos reigns among Japanese ranks. Flight formations crumble. Bombing runs fail. The harbor is saved from total devastation. Ships that would have been sunk now survive. Aircraft are spared. Lives are spared. But the bigger picture is just as dramatic. The shock ripples beyond the battlefield. Word spreads, a weapon so advanced it could not exist in 1941. Enemy plans unravel. Panic spreads through their ranks. Confidence evaporates. The attack is stopped before it can reach full scale. Yet the weapon cannot prevent history entirely. The war still begins. Japan still attacked. But one modern laser system has turned a massacre into a tactical miracle, changed the immediate outcome, and given the defenders an edge no one thought possible. Imagine the last moments. The sun sets over a partially damaged harbor. Smoke rises, but destruction is limited. The laser hums quietly, ready for more, but power systems cool. One system, one chance, has altered the course of battle. Pearl Harbor is attacked, but not destroyed. Lives are saved, ships remain afloat, aircraft remain intact. And for decades to come, historians speculate, what if the U.S. had deployed one weapon of the future in 1941? This is the story of one laser weapon in history's deadliest surprise attack. One system, thousands of enemies, and the impossible power of technology decades ahead of its time. Could a modern laser have saved Pearl Harbor entirely? No. Could it have reduced destruction, saved lives, and turned chaos into hope? Absolutely. The sky above Pearl Harbor becomes a battlefield unlike any other. Technology against tradition, future against past, one weapon against hundreds. And the lesson is clear. Modern technology, when unleashed at the right moment, can reshape history, even if only partially. One laser, one chance, and a historical attack that would never be forgotten, altered forever.